the more our politicians and those who are supporting it, the more they cry, the more the US government proves to them that they are going to do what they want to do. If you like, cry water, cry river. You cannot use propaganda to stop them. US Department of Defense begins mapping for military operations in Nigeria. Some people were joking about it. No, they should do the mapping very well. Oh. Me, I'm not here. Me, I'm not there. And at the end of the day, this whole thing is just, it's coming out the way some people are trying to predict it. Donald Trump orders the Pentagon to prepare for possible military action in Nigeria. US defense official warned that an intervention could spark regional instability and fail to end the long-running insurgency fueled by Boko Haram and ISWAP. And meanwhile, so they would rather allow it to continue. Fight it, they cannot fight it because they are going to be this selective fighting, which we do. They will say, we know our problems, you are the ones that will fight these problems, but we cannot fight it because those who are supposed to fight it are benefiting from there. Amid escalating violence in northern Nigeria, the U.S. Department of Defense has begun drawing up contingency plans following an order from President Donald Trump to prepare for possible action against Islamist militants accused of attacking Christians. The directive, announced via the former president's social media account over the weekend, calls for a potential military intervention to protect cherished Christians in Nigeria, a move that has rattled global observers and triggered cautious responses from defense officials. According to reports, officers from U.S. African Command have developed 3 operational plans: light, medium, and heavy, each escalating in scope and intensity. The plans, now under review by the Pentagon Joint Staff, outline options ranging from advisory support for the Nigerian military to full-scale strikes on militant targets. Defense Insider told reporters that any such intervention would be symbolic at best, warning that an Iraq or Afghanistan-style mission would be required to meaningfully counter the insurgency. It will be a fiasco, said retired Major General Paul D. Eaton, an Iraq war veteran. Airstrikes alone might shock and awe, but won't solve decades of sectarian violence. Officials familiar with this discussion or the discussions said the light option would see U.S. intelligence and surveillance support for Nigeria forces combating Boko Haram and ISWAP, both of which have targeted Muslims and Christians in the country's northeast. Whether it is a Christian they are attacking or Muslim they are attacking, the most important is that the people who are perpetrating this evil should be dealt with. Let's leave the issue whether it is Christian, because they want to change the narrative, because they are always full of changing narratives, and the substance of the whole thing will be left. The medium option proposes limited drone strikes using MQR Reaper and MQ-1 per aircraft. Okay. However, this has been complicated by the loss of 2 U.S. drone bases, Adesan, both now occupied by Russian forces in neighborhood Niger. The heavy option includes deploying a U.S. aircraft carrier to the Gulf of Guinea alongside long-range bombers to launch deep strikes in Nigeria's north. But Pentagon sources said this is not a national security priority given the current U.S. deployments in the Middle East, Pacific, and South American. Military analysts warn that the complexity of Nigeria's crisis, rooted in land disputes, ethnic tensions, and political corruption, means external force alone cannot even bring peace. This is not a purely religious war, a senior official said. Farmers and herders have clashed for decades, and insurgents have exploited that chaos. The Nigerian government welcomed potential U.S. assistance, but cautioned that any action must respect national sovereignty and territorial integrity. Meanwhile, US officials privately admit they are uneasy about the order's political undertones. Trump's message, echoing his earlier decision to label Nigeria a country of particular concern, has been viewed as part of a wider attempt to reassert US influence in Africa amid growing Russian and Chinese engagement. The US African Command, headquartered in Stuttgart, Germany, has forwarded its operational options to Washington for final assessment. Sources confirm that General Davgin R.M. Anderson, AFRICOM's new commander, is scheduled to visit Nigeria next month for consultations with top military officials. However, as tension mounts, both US and Nigerian authorities face growing pressure to de-escalate and pursue diplomatic solutions before a fragile region becomes the stage for yet another prolonged conflict. When God has made Trump take this decision, even the devil cannot even stop him. Please, oh, come today, I beg you, and finish them all for good. Please, let the intervention be urgent and quick. It is a welcome development. Let them do whatever they like to Nigeria and equally do the same thing to Israel. There are thousands of Palestinian Christians. After all, the US, after the same USA is planning military action against Venezuela, majority of whom are Christians. Hypocrisy. USA is only after our resources and for the love it has for Christianity. Please make it fast as soon as possible, and any northerners who are not in support of it should face the music. Let the music begin. Defection is terrorism. Please, Trump, call your soldiers to make it faster today and tomorrow and start coming to Nigeria. Nigerians really need help from you. Some people don't want this to happen. So that is just the in thing now. Leave your comment down there below and let us have your take.